Derivatives trading involves a substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. These are for educational purposes only. Okay, so we bought somewhere around here, and we got washed out. Came back here, and it just kept going. So a good run yesterday, and look, we've actually beat out the high from days ago. Not quite hit this high. Anyways, it doesn't really matter because today is FOMC day, and once that news releases, the technical picture is going to completely change. But let's write these down anyways. So one is 153.06. I want to say that end for 152.24. 224 and lower to probably this 15. Got 150. So we're already into the middle of this range, so I can't trade that. No, no, no.
Jiggy MC said very light volume here, in ZB less than a 100 and a level is taken, in ZN less than a 1000. Fran said small move up on nothing volume. Fran said just scalpers. Fran said probably, FOMC. Fran said scalp the morning moves and quit. Jiggy MC said this makes trading more difficult, you can't trust any area. Fran said no rate change probably. Fran said economic numbers haven't been that great. Fran said I think housing starts were down. Fran said so interest rates were up the last quarter. Fran said I have to set up a mic on this computer.
That's a little bit.
Surfboom said good morning all. Fran said, where's the general channel?
There you go. Where's Jiggy? Jiggy's usually in here too. Actually, we had a lot of people in here yesterday. Anyways, Fran, you were saying the housing starts were down. It kind of seems to me like the home builders don't really have the incentive to make
Fran
more
said,
houses.
can you hear me?
No. So you might.
Fran said, I can hear you.
Cool. I'm not quite sure what you might. You might just have to click the mute button. So down at the very bottom there on the left, there's a little mic button, and you can press it to unmute yourself, I think. But it also won't let you. I don't know. You should. You should just be able to unmute yourself.
Surfboom said, what area do you live in? In LA there's not land for more housing developments.
Whoa.
And you couldn't buy a one-bedroom condo west of 405 for $300K.
I live in Utah, so very different.
Surfboom said, beautiful place. Flimbo said, Fuuk, I just closed my POS, crossed fingers too early. Surfboom said, Utah, I mean.
There's some sort of breaking news there. Sure looks like a news move.
Flimbo said, LOLZN sadly on POC, smiling face with open mouth and smiling eyes. Jiggy MC said, no news at this hour.
Yeah, but maybe Trump said something.
Jiggy
Or,
MC said, schedule, I mean.
Yeah.
Jiggy MC said, yeah. Flimbo said, why?
No, it's just like crazy all over the place now. Look at that.
Fran said, Gallup job creation.
Oh, really? I didn't have that on my...
Jiggy MC said, this is no bueno.
Gonna stay out of this one for sure. So, can you guys unmute yourself? Do I have the channel set
Fran
up
said,
wrong
I'm
or
long on a
something?
scalp. Flimbo said, here long? Smiling face with open mouth and smiling eyes. Flimbo said, brave man.
There, maybe now people
Jiggy
can talk.
MC said, Zero Hedge has this, no ultra long, TBAC doesn't see strong or sustainable demand for ultra longs. Fran said, might be a setting on my computer.
No, it's probably the
Fran
Discord
said we'll check
settings.
later.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with it.
Fran said out scalp 4T.
Sellers stepping in here. Made move and buyers bought back, right back. What's your daily target, Fran?
Fran said I don't have one.
Okay. Then, or rather, what is your average profit, daily profit?
Fran said I trade up to 5 lots, I try to make $500 plus per day.
Okay. So four ticks is pretty good. I think maybe because I'll get like a bunch of 3 tick days, and then I'll get like a 16 tick day, and probably averages out to 4 right now.
Fran said did you trade for a bank?
No, I worked for a bank, but I was in technology, and it was equities, not futures.
Fran said why did you choose bonds to trade?
Um, well, I didn't really necessarily choose bonds. I wanted to do order flow, because that's what the traders at the bank used. And when I kind of got going into it, um, I looked at the Nopius day trading course, and he said to trade bonds, and so I decided to trade bonds. And after a while, I saw the reasons why, and it was very clear to me that bonds was a more reliable way to make money.
Fran said ES is a disaster these days. Fran said that's why I switched. Fran said but took a long time to learn bonds.
Well, I kind of like to, right now at least, I feel like I tend to divide the market into 2 different phases. Um, and one phase is when the locals are in control, and one phase is when the larger time players are in control, right? So when the market makers are in control, like it was a little bit earlier, um, at least for me, I find it really hard to find an edge, because you'll find a spot where it looks like there's support and resistance and everything, right? But there's like a really high incentive for the market makers to push it past that to get a stop run, and then push it back the other direction. Versus when the higher time frame players are coming in, you can just kind of see them slowly trying to accumulate, and you can join in on that, and then 4 or 5 ticks later it just starts taking off, right? So when you look at the E-mini is in that range trading, let's stop everybody out mode, like all the time. It's just a complete meat grinder. See, like this thing right here, this little 3-tick range that we were just in. Usually where I lose all my money.
Fran said scalping short. Fran said this is where I like the split volume on Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Fran said out plus 2T.
Not quite sure what to make of this action now because it's hit both of my targets. Hypo 1 said we were going to test 153.06 and it did that by 1 tick. And it said 152.15 test on the test lower and it hit that to the tick. And this definitely looks like a head and shoulders here. Of course, we can only say that now that the pattern has basically completed itself.
Fran said ZB is still in the value area. Fran said scalping short again. Fran said out plus 2T. Fran said John Grady heaven this morning.
Yeah, you've got 3 good ones now. You guys should all just listen to Fran. She's a lot better at this than me.
Grant said $500 a day is a nice target. Grant said 1 day.
Well, I've thought for the combine, because they let you trade up to 5 contracts, and I thought, well, maybe I should just trade 4 or 5 contracts and just go for 2 ticks.
Fran said hope to increase size next month. Fran said well you have to get some of the runners to make up for the small losses scalping.
Yeah.
Fran said with scalping you have to jump in and out fast.
Yeah, I've been pretty good at catching the runners. My issue is that my win-loss rate has
Fran
just not
said
been
so
up
one
to
of
par.
my setups is to look for the current trend and stick with it. Grant said you pick a bias and stick with it for the day. Fran said no. Fran said scalping is either way depending on the order flow. IQ said Fran can you post a chart thicks? Surfboom said which one of Grady's setups do you use Fran? Do you only use the Jigsaw DOM or other tools as well? Fran said scalping is all order flow. Fran said that's why I like the split volume.
Yeah, the split volume is nice. there's no better way to see the iceberg orders in particular
Fran
than
said
with
I
the
refresh
jigsaw.
that JJigsaw DOM about every 30 seconds.
Oh, really? You mean like you clear the current trades column?
Fran said yes, I have 2 sets of jigsaw.
Oh, okay. I used to clear it a lot,
Fran
but
said one
not anymore.
accumulates and the other refreshes. Surfboom said are you scalping ZB? Fran said I refresh manually depending whether I'm in a trade. Fran said yes ZB. Sakura said Fran how do you define the current trend of ZB? Fran said I use a Renko chart. Fran said and market profile. Fran said in value, good scalping. Fran said out of value, maybe a trend. Fran said 15-minute on market profile.
Looks like it's trying really hard to get back into the value area and is having trouble.
Fran said profile almost balanced. Sakura said each TPO is 15 minutes on market profile. Fran said no, it's a 15-minute chart but the TPO is set at 30 minutes.
Okay. I was gonna say, why don't you use the typical 30? I don't think it would make a huge difference.
Fran said but my footprint chart shows the migrating value area. Surfboom said using Lin software? Fran said right, I don't think it makes a big difference.
Which footprint chart do you use?
Fran said I use FinAlg software on Ninja. Surfboom said okay. Fran said you can get footprint chart free at Big Mike's, haven't looked at it.
Yeah, the footprint chart that I use is
Surfboom said T4 does nice job with MP. Hoemic is fin alg.
oh, I don't have to look. The footprint that I use, I got off of Big Mike's and I modified. I cleaned it up a lot. I actually still need to make some changes before I could be giving it to other people, though. I think there's still some things I need to do. That one's stable, though. I haven't had any problems with the footprint chart, so.
Fran said $55 per month for TPO and market balance. Fran said or you can buy them outright. Fran said I'm just so used to his software that I don't look at other software.
Yeah, but if you're paying $55 per month.
Surfboom said hey, it's all about what you're comfy with.
The thing with NinjaTrader 8 that I don't think people have caught on to yet is that it makes it really easy to make order flow indicators. So these things like footprint charts, I could duplicate most of the Gomi features, by myself for free. So a lot of these guys that are charging like $50 a month for a footprint chart and stuff like that, they're not going to be in business 5 years, in my opinion.
Keith said looks like we are having trouble getting past yesterday's VPOC in ZN. Fran said I don't like bookmap, too much information I don't need. Fran said nice setup Keith. Grant said I agree. Surfboom said Ninja 7 lags on me a lot. Have had it lock up in fast markets. Nice Keith. Fran said I have 5 monitors, I need big charts, I can't see the small print on the defaulted charts. Keith said thanks.
Yeah, I have 2 more monitors, but I haven't set them up yet, and I would really like to do that and move most of the charts off of that so that I can make the print bigger on the jigsaw and it's easier to see in the videos. Because when I watch them over again at work, I
Grant
have to
said
like
I'm the
make it
same
full
Fran.
screen to see anything.
4 widescreen monitors and I need to see a lot of context. Fran said yeah, it's hard to concentrate on the numbers when the print is so small.
How big of a monitor
Fran
do you
said I
have?
had a perpetual headache when I started with Jigsaw. IQ said 3 here LOL. Fran said 21 and 24 inch. Grant said are yours side by side or stacked? Grant said I have 2 on bottom and 2 on top. Fran said I built this computer just for trading. Fran said I use another computer for email, FOMC. Keith said LOL I have 2 to 27 and a MacBook. I really want some 4K monitors.
Yeah, you know what? Tell you what. Go for the high refresh
Fran said bonds
monitor.
are wild this morning.
They are. I got one of these.
OPG said Fran, what do you mean ES is a disaster these days? As in order flow is wacky and unpredictable?
Yeah, 144 hertz monitors. They're great. Try it.
Fran said the algos fire off so fast that it's hard to keep track. Keith said 144 Hz for the 4K, Seth. OPG said I see. Fran said backticking is horrible. Fran said backticking is a killer for a scalper. Keith said I was really thinking about just getting one big 4K monitor. Like a 50.
Or like one of those big curved ones.
Keith said yeah. Fran said then you have to divide up your charts on one screen.
Yeah. Wow, look at how much volume is trading here at 29.
Fran said we should all take a JPG of our setups.
Yeah, because you can just post the screenshots here in the room.
Fran said ZB crossed the value area 3 times already.
Looks like the buyers won that one. Yeah, I think that my screen is a 26. And I had a hard time, you know, filling the screen up at first. Like the stuff you see in my videos, like with the footprint charts and stuff, I don't really use that. I only put the footprint chart on there in the first place just so that because somebody asked me to program it for them, and I wanted to have it up and use it to make sure that it was stable. Of course, now I've found some uses for it, but
Fran said I made a few YouTube vids for a person who needed help with scalping. Fran said youtube.com. Grant said thanks Fran.
subscribe to her channel.
Fran said I started to video a library of different setups using Jigsaw etc.
Yeah, that's really good. I started doing these videos, and I've gotten so many comments and suggestions and stuff from people. It's been really, really nice. I really hope that
Fran said I
these
thought it might
videos,
be good to archive what I'm doing,
yeah,
because along the way you do change some things.
I'm hoping that more people start doing this sort of a thing.
Fran said which isn't always good.
Oh,
Grant said Keith, when you make enough money, buy an IMAX cinema, put on huge reclining chair in the middle and high-def projector. Now that's hardcore. IQ said it's hope and change hugely. Fran said okay hand sign. Keith said LMAO. Perfect. Fran said on my yacht floating on the French Riviera.
been short at 31, but now there's 1,000 lot there popping up every once in a while. I don't know if it's gonna happen. They're absorbing at 30, so
Fran said momentum has slowed.
buyers took that 300. Crazy. Maybe I don't want 31 anymore.
Jack said that was some interesting action in ZB at 24 back there. Iceberg on the bid absorbed the large seller's 400 and a firm bid below at 23 with no follow through from the seller.
Ooh, look at that 1,000 lot pop up with 153
Jack said
even.
stop the market.
Ooh. Wow. Just blew right through that.
Fran said I have to make a video of the split volume at work on a scalp. Fran said it's very graphic.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Nobody's really found a good way. I know that there's a Vista chart, but I haven't seen anything that really gives you a good historical look at the DOM, you know? I have some ideas on how maybe you could do it, but no. You really have to just watch it in a video.
Fran said I use market replay a lot. Fran said footprint chart setup with the ladder can give a lot of information. Fran said historically.
Yeah, a footprint chart does an okay job at it. Because the footprint chart, I mean, really, the level 2 can give you some indications, but really the
Fran said
order
but
flow is
nothing is
more important.
exportable to Excel.
Yeah. Where the orders actually executed are more important than what the level 2 was doing. See, there's some patterns, like one thing I've noticed that I like to see a lot is um, it'll be like 300 bid 300 offer, and it'll sit there for a long time, and then one side will decide to eat up the other side. If the other side doesn't immediately respond back, that you usually get a push in the direction of the big order. And question is how like what is the percentage win rate on that trade? There's no way to like backtest it or anything because there's no tool that shows you the level 2 well enough to program that and do a historical look at it. You'd have to, you just have to track it, every time you take that trade and see how it turns out.
Fran said no data to use for programming and backtesting. Fran said it's all eyeball work. Fran said although I bet some of the big firms like Renaissance can do it.
I'm going to bet that a big firm, what they do is they just have a robot and they simp trade the robot and keep track of the percentage that way.
Fran said I was reading about Virtu recently, one tickers thousands of times per day. They're market makers but they make billions on that one tick. OPG said well replay should be considered backtesting of sorts.
Yeah.
Fran said yes but you can't program a setup.
Well, you can just have a lot of replay data, right? Now,
OPG said right.
if you have a year's worth of replay data,
Fran said I subscribe to market replay data, $6 per month. Fran said I go over my trades on the weekend with market replay. OPG said used to be free until Ninja 8 lol. Surfboom said I run my Jigsaw Rapid Trader Pro. Does anyone know if it does replay? New to it?
I don't think it has that yet. Sure, it's a planned feature though. But you know, with this video recording, it's really quite easy to record your trading session and then just store it on YouTube instead of your disk, basically. But even then, when you can buy like a terabyte hard drive, it'll hold a lot of video.
Fran said no, I don't think so. Ninja has market replay. Fran said Ninja charges to download data now. OPG said no. Fran said I use N7. OPG said the market replaydata.com. OPG said or .net. OPG said forget which one. Fran said okay.
Man, it seems like the market's just been, a lot of stuff has happened and it's only 9:15. Seeing this kind of action before the FOMC meeting says to me that there's a good chance we're going to have a huge move off of the decision. Iceberg there at 31. Pretty well. Heavy buy in there. Been getting a lot more stop runs in ZB lately. slow and choppy now.
Keith said the setup. 3 monitors for trading. 2 monitors for when I work from home. Smiling face with open mouth. Fran said nice.
Yeah, so when we had that push up to 05, I see a delta of like 1200 positive, and now we have a delta of not even 100. Wait, 02 here. Like they want to go lower.
MTC said Jesus fuck. MTC said wait. MTC said what is that above your desk? MTC said Keith.
It's really funny to hear the text to speech.
MTC said that is some cool architecture and coloring. MTC said that seems so visually pleasant. Keith said LOL I have the text to speech on and was cracking up too, Seth. It's the ceiling MTC. MTC said where are you? Is that your house? www. Keith said OMG enough W's.
Yeah.
MTC said LOL. Jiggy MC said WTF. Is happening here? MTC said apologies, won't happen again.
He picked the worst letter too with the W. Come on.
Keith said yes, it's my house. That's what happens when you get old, MTC. Jiggy MC said my office sounded like a disco music with the W's. Fran said a total breakdown of discipline, boys. Keith said I'm glad Fran is here to keep us all in check.
Focus. Serious trading. I'm gonna make a new high here. Like we're gonna come up a little. Buyer's still trying to hold it there. Right, a battle going on here in the E-mini. The level 2 just flipped there. Sellers at 4. Okay, this buyer at 4 is still there. Whoa.
Grant said nice setup Keith.
On E-mini, you can do it. O2? Anybody? Once somebody traded L1, it went pretty quick, didn't it? Back.
Keith said 9 AM PMI. Keith said hopefully that can get us out of balance.
Yeah. Still some big players on the buy side aren't letting this get too low. Okay. Hmm. Not a lot of interest to buy it up there at 5.
In the past, a boss has negotiated.
Comes news.
Keith said thinning out.
Initial reaction was down. Number slightly higher than expected. Too bad I closed my short before the news. Hmm. Hmm. E-mini sure isn't in a hurry to do anything, is it? There we go. Good tick down. Whoa. You mean you're gonna take a new low, huh? Whoa, that went up to 600, 700 real fast.
Fran said short 29.
Yeah, I'm short from 28. Out, out, out. So it took 2 ticks on that one.
Jack said that seller lifted at 26, gonna be able to hold it down here or not.
Well, I kind of thought when the E-mini made a new low there that we were just gonna come, roaring back. That did not happen. And it's curious that the bond and the E-mini basically went down in tandem. So I'm not quite sure what to think about here. The seller definitely took the pressure off, though. Now the sellers are being matched at 26.
Jack said those bids at 24/25 they're pumping up, to facilitate fills at 26/27 or gonna be able to support. Fran said no one selling hard on the ZN so may just be a scalp here. Fran said out plus 3T. Fran said numbers lousy.
Well, the ISM number was really good, right? So I think a lot of this might be Apple and all that. You notice how that the E-mini has made a little comeback and we've just been in the range here. Not trading with the usual inverse correlation at the moment.
Fran said ZF is selling. Keith said short at 19.5 ZN.
500 traded there, huh? Probably gonna turn.
Keith said out +3. Keith said was hoping we would make it to 17 in ZN. Fran said green is green.
That was a pretty strong tick down there. A little iceberging there at 27. Ooh. That was quite the tick. That was a 300 bought, and then 300 immediately tried to sell, and they just absorbed all of them. Okay, there's your 4-tick pullback. I don't know. Gonna try and make a new low here in the 10-year. A big buy in the 5-year 1535.
Fran said short from 26.
Hmm. Rather be long from 24, but missed that boat. Yeah, offer it. 19.5. Oh, look, it's pulling. Okay.
Fran said out equals 3t. Fran said minus 3t. Fran said ZN doesn't want to move.
It does not, does it? You see that? Just they pulled it down 3 ticks. The ZN made a new swing high, and ZB did not. Bond did not.
Jiggy MC said for those who like emotions and missed the 2010 crash, you can hear it here youtube.com.
Oh, I've watched that video before. That's so great. Is that the flash crash video?
Jiggy MC said yes. Jiggy MC said love it.
I had only been working for the bank for maybe like 2 weeks when the flash crash happened.
Fran said thanks. Jiggy MC said that might be scary at the time, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Jiggy MC said smiling face with open mouth.
Well, I recall that at the time we had made some sort of a no, there was some sort of a technical pattern on the daily chart that people were concerned about. So it wouldn't have happened if, people weren't already bias short and, you know, but Yeah, that was a crazy day. I remember watching the charts that day.
Jack said often if the 10YR holds 1T into the low will trade up a few ticks, range a little, eventually get back through the new low and push a few ticks lower, today.
That action that just happened there sure looked a lot like a false breakout lower. We can trade 28 here. Better.
Jiggy MC said ZN has nice repetitive patterns. Jack said this 19.5 is where they were showing 3,700 a little while back. Jiggy MC said missed it? Fran said ES just tanked, maybe oil news.
Oh yeah, it was oil.
Jiggy MC said 20 minutes ago.
30. What was it? Negative 0.9 versus negative 3.3.
Jiggy MC said no idea, irrelevant. Jiggy MC said Jigsaw Beta 9 is out. Jiggy MC said RTP I mean. Jiggy MC said, do you guys use keyboard shortcuts? It drives me nuts having the symbol search always popping up every time I miss a key, pouting face.
Oh yeah, no. The whole thing that like um when you have the DOM open and you type something in and it tries to switch you, I hate that feature. Yeah. Is there a way to turn that off? I've never looked.
Jiggy MC said, yeah, it will be fixed. Jiggy MC said, but till then. Surfboom said, me too, Jiggy.
I have a mouse that has a lot of buttons on the side of it. And I've messed around with it, like binding them to the F1 keys so that I can use them like that. But I didn't really use it.
Jiggy MC said, I like the shortcut keys, to center, cancel orders, reset current orders, very useful.
Okay. Wow, look at that. Yo, holy crap. You know what, the one change that I want the most in the current Rapid Trader Pro is the ability to show my profit and loss as ticks in the positions window. It'll show me MFE and MAE as ticks, but it won't show me the profit and loss as ticks.
Jiggy MC said, love May / MFE and time in, most important for me.
Why time in?
Jiggy MC said I don't want to see the profit/loss, I get biased and instead trading the market I get trading the PNL, especially when I'm losing.
Yeah. I'll look at it after the trade, but there's definitely a temptation to be like, well, I'm down, so I want to get at least
Jiggy
3 ticks
MC
out of
said
this.
obviously.
Yeah. Actually, after all that, I ended the day negative 2 ticks.
Jiggy MC said damn monkey brain LOL.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think there's something to, like, being in a position and where you get at definitely affects your head. So, if you caught a move early versus catching a move late, definitely changes your perspective on things. And when you get in late too many times in a row, you have a bunch of bad trades, you know. That's also why I stopped doing the adding on to a position, because when it was going well, I was always thinking about adding to my position, um, and I wasn't looking for the, oh, this is a spot I need to get out at. Excuse me.
Jiggy MC said this is my small PNL window which I have side by side with my DOMs. During a trade that is the only information I need to see. Keith said question. Do you guys clear your recent bid/ask when you feel like you're at a turning point or when you're about to get into a trade?
Yeah, so I used to do that, and then I stopped just because I realized that
Jiggy MC said you mean clear current trades.
yeah, I'm talking about clear current trades at least. I don't do it anymore just because the treasuries move so slowly that it seems like you don't really need it.
Keith said I believe so. Sierra calls them recent bid/ask.
Yeah, I find that one a lot more useful on the E-mini. Only because I think the thing that makes it hard is when you're looking at it and you see one above you that isn't really relevant anymore. But in the bonds, in the Z's, I can usually tell, so I don't clear it.
Jiggy MC said I clear the current trades above current price or below when I see a clear support/resistance. It helps me reading the areas since most times I have my chart screen turned off.
Well, I better stop for today. See you later.